morning sun slipped through the curtains, but Daniel didn't move. The clock ticked past 9 a.m., the time he used to clock in at the office downtown. But there was no job anymore, just silence. A week ago, Daniel had been a mid-level project manager at a construction firm, steady pay, good benefits, a future he thought was safe. Then the layoffs came, 27 people gone, Daniel's name on the list. At first, he told himself it was temporary, that something better would come quickly. But days turned into weeks, and hope turned into fear. Bills stacked up, calls went unanswered, and his confidence, the same confidence that once led teams and solved problems, began to crumble. He wasn't just unemployed, he felt unnecessary. It was a Friday night when Daniel finally snapped. He sat in his car in the rain, parked outside a grocery store, staring at the last $14 in his account. He thought of calling a friend, then didn't. He thought of asking his parents for help, but pride stopped him. He just sat there, staring into the dark reflection of himself in the windshield, whispering, "What happened to me?" That night, he didn't sleep. He scrolled through job sites until his eyes burned. Every rejection email felt heavier. Every "we've decided to move forward with another candidate" chipped another piece off his spirit. By morning, Daniel had only one thought: I can't keep living like this. Sometimes, change doesn't come as thunder. It comes as a whisper. For Daniel, it came in the form of an old notebook. He found it while cleaning, his dream book from years ago, filled with ideas he once wrote when life was good. On one page, written in his younger handwriting, were the words, "One day, I'll build something that helps people rebuild." He laughed bitterly at first, but that phrase wouldn't leave him. Helps people rebuild. Maybe that's what he needed to do, rebuild himself first. That afternoon, Daniel made a list, not of problems, but of small wins. Get up at the same time every day, walk for 30 minutes, apply for 3 jobs, read 1 chapter of a book. It wasn't much, but it was structure, something to fight the chaos. The next months were slow. Some days he felt strong, other days he barely moved. He worked temporary gigs, anything to keep going. Warehouse shifts, delivery driving, even cleaning offices at night. He'd come home exhausted, but at least he was fighting again. During those long shifts, Daniel started listening to podcasts and online courses. He learned about digital marketing, freelancing, and online business. Something inside him started to wake up, the hunger he thought was gone. He started experimenting, built a simple website, offered to help a small cafe near his home manage their social media for free. Within weeks, their customers doubled. The owner paid him a little bonus. It wasn't much money, but it was proof that he still had value. One night, as he worked late, an idea hit him. A platform for people who'd lost jobs to find small remote gigs and retrain online. He called it Rebuild. He didn't have investors, didn't have a team, just a vision and an old laptop. He spent months designing it using free tools, networking with people online, reaching out to local organizations, and helping others like him. Slowly, it grew. First 10 users, then 100, then 1,000. And one day, Daniel received an email. A woman wrote, "Because of Rebuild, I found work after 6 months of being unemployed. You changed my life." Daniel sat in silence, tears filling his eyes. He realized something profound. He hadn't lost everything. He had lost what he thought he was, but found who he was meant to be. 2 years later, Rebuild had become a small but thriving online community, helping thousands of people regain their confidence and careers. Daniel now stood on a stage at a career conference, invited to speak about resilience. He looked out at the crowd, hundreds of faces that mirrored his past. He smiled and said, "You don't rise from strength, you rise from struggle. You don't rebuild life by waiting for luck. You rebuild it by refusing to give up, even when it hurts." The crowd was silent for a moment, then erupted in applause. After the talk, Daniel walked outside, into the same kind of rain that once made him feel small. But now, the rain felt different. He tilted his head up and whispered, "Thank you," because sometimes losing everything isn't the end. It's the beginning of seeing who you really are. When you lose your job, your stability, your hope, it's easy to think life is over. But it's not. Every ending is a test. Every breakdown is an invitation to rebuild stronger. You may not control what happens to you, but you control what you do next. Like Daniel, you might just find that rock bottom isn't the end of your story. It's the foundation for your greatest comeback.
Subscribe for more real-life emotional stories that inspire hope.